one whose time has come. And there is no better time than now to have a platform like this, an event like this that brings together the citizenry of the nation, those who have their hearts for Nigeria and for the progress of this country, to exchange ideas, to exchange initiatives, to talk about patriotism from the place of the office of the citizenry. And we have a role to play, the leaders have a role to play, but the citizens as well have a role, an important role to play in moving the nation further. And there's no other platform that is more unique and more strategic than the Unveiling and Rebranding Nigeria initiative, to have such conversations, to have such discussions that would move us as a country forward. And as citizens, we have a role to play, and this is where we have that opportunity to be inspired one to the other, to inspire one another, to talk about what we can do now in places of location, or places of position, or places of responsibility, because we don't need an office or a role to make an impact. Everyone, no matter where we are, can make an impact. And as a great mind said, we don't need to be great to start, but we need to start to be great. And for Nigeria to be great, we all need to come together. And Unveiling and Rebranding Nigeria initiative and event, the launch, is that place where we can make a decision to see Nigeria move forward and then take that decision towards action. The start of an initiative is so important. It's as important as the continuity or as its progress. It's important that people understand what the vision is, because we've had so many countless initiatives, not just in Nigeria, but across the continent, across the black race. What is important is that an initiative needs to be emphatic about its vision, about what it is not. Because sometimes it's easy and clear what something is, but sometimes what actually destroys great initiatives and projects is what it is not. And this is what is important in the start or the beginning, the launch of the initiative, is for the initiative to be clear to everyone what it is, but also what it is not. And this is where we're going to have serious conversations around what we seek to achieve, what we are not, so that we are not mistaken or misconstrued as another gathering for self-aggrandizement or such gatherings. This is very different. The visionaries behind this initiative and everyone that is interested in moving the country forward, this is the right platform to come to see this progress, and your voice counts. And it's important in the launch that all of these are re-emphasized, and it's here that you can ask the right questions and find a way where your voice is heard and can be heard, and the role you can play as we move forward. What is clear is that we cannot do this alone. The founders can't do this alone. The board can't do this alone. It takes collective responsibility, and this is the significance of the launch. It's where we pass across the message, but also where everyone's voice counts. I feel it's a great opportunity to speak about the collaboration between Nigerians at home and Nigerians abroad. And sometimes we forget that Nigerians abroad are first Nigerians. And many Nigerians abroad have a heart for the country, are affected by things that go on in the country. And if we even look at the banters and the rantings on social media, most of those that speak with so much emphasis and so much passion and so much sometimes illusion are those that are on the ground in different other countries. And they want to see Nigeria progress because some of them want to come back home. They want to make an impact. They want to see the country move forward. And there's no underestimating what can happen if Nigerians abroad collaborate with Nigerians at home. But what we've seen, and the challenge has always been finding the right initiatives and platforms, the right organizations, credible organizations with whom they can share vision and also see their wishes and ambition and goals and desires come alive through the initiatives of such an organization. And I think that this could be the platform that makes that possible, where Nigerians abroad can find credible partners on the ground to have social impact initiatives, to champion projects, initiatives, and platforms that can actually change lives. Because Nigeria is at a crossroads. We need to move more and more from thoughts to actions, from promises to results. And we have a young, booming population, and we sit at the crossroads of the future, and we must do something, and this could be the start of something that allows for symbiotic collaboration between the diaspora and those back at home, because those in the diaspora have something to offer, those at home as well, and why not just work together? And I also would posit that if you look at the trade between Nigeria and different countries of the world, there's no bigger flow, even in terms of economics, than diaspora remittance. Diaspora remittance is bigger than foreign direct investment. A lot of us don't know this. So that means that diaspora already are investors, are stakeholders in the economy of the nation, and how much more being able to then contribute towards topical issues, issues of societal importance and impact, projects that will change lives on the ground. And this is what could become even more accentuated thanks to the unveiling and rebranding Nigerian initiatives, and we can make this difference happen. Nigerians are Nigeria's untapped, biggest untapped potential. And why is this? Is because we're in a knowledge economy globally. The world has moved from different phases of civilization to where it is today, and we're presently in the era of the knowledge capital, right? We talk about artificial intelligence, we talk about Internet of Things. All of these things are ideas becoming matter, right? Ideas becoming things. And so Nigerians are Nigeria's greatest potential asset. And until we can find ways for Nigerians to be able to unleash their potential, that's when the country begins to grow. The economy of the country is a reflection of how easy it is for those ideas, for Nigerians, and the ideas they have to actually transform and translate to things, to products, to services. What we are having now today is thanks to ideas becoming reality. It started with an idea, with a dream. The founder of the Rediscoverng and branding Nigeria, they had this dream, and today we are all around the table thanks to that dream becoming a reality. But one of the things that's helped is that he's going to create an environment around him to allow that to happen. Is what we want for more Nigerians. Wherever you are, whatever state, whether you're black, you're fair, whether you are from the north or from the south, whatever your religion is, whatever your beliefs are, your ideas that can change your communities should be able to find expression in those communities. And that's why I say, and I believe ardently, that Nigerians are Nigeria's greatest potential. And until we can harness this potential and make them become reality, then Nigeria's growth remains stunted. And this is why the unveiling and rebranding Nigerian initiative wants to give opportunities to more people, so that power, and not just power as we think it to be, as political power, but intellectual power is more powerful than political power, because even the political parties we talk about today are intellectual ideologies, right? And people came around those ideologies. So until we allow for intellectual power to find more expression, no matter where they are from, no matter who holds those ideas, then Nigeria's greatness will remain limited. But we know that the Unveiling and Rebranding Nigerian initiative is here to create such a platform to galvanize ideas, to allow for ideas to translate towards products and initiatives, to allow for people to collaborate together, because together each of us can achieve more. That's the goal, that's the concept of teamwork. And if we can allow for more ideas to be translated to realities and products and services and companies and initiatives, then we are on the way to growth. And that's the secret of great nations. Great nations great not because of their gold, not because of their oil and gas. I want us all to wake up. Oil and gas is not the measure of wealth. It's an enabler, but that's not the measure of wealth. The greatest nations today hardly have any resources, but they have been able to manage and control resources in other countries because they've been able to manage and control ideas. Ideas rule the world. It's important that we stay hopeful. It's important that we know that it's not going to be a quick journey, and it's difficult to say this because at this time we know the kind of challenges we're facing in the country. We are all affected by them, the economic situation, the social situation, and etc. We're in a stage of birth pains, and until we go through that stage of gestation, those birth pains, we cannot give birth. Unveiling means something had been hidden, had been under the bushel, right, and coming to life. And that's where we are right now as a country. We're going through those trials of gestation period, of those pregnancy, in quotes, trials. And before ideas are birthed, before any big dream becomes reality, those are the cycles of progress. Those are the cycles that precedes coming to life. If you look at even at the natural world, gold first sits in the ground. Gold is first in the ground and is extracted. In the ground it remains gold, right? But until it's extracted and refined and unveiled, it never becomes what is of commercial value in the marketplace. And we just need to be patient, hopeful, but working towards it. Working towards where we want to see the country to go to, and finding the right networks is so important, having the right networks, because we can only go as far as we can see, and if we do not have the right social support around us, people that also believe that things will be better, then the reality becomes even more dissuasive. So it's really important, and if you look at countries that have progressed, let's look at Singapore. Everybody talks about Singapore. People talk about United Arab Emirates. They were somewhere at some point. The Asian marvel that we all talk about today, they were not always there. But it took visionary leadership, visionary citizenry as well, because the biggest companies in America were not started by politicians, but politicians played a role in setting the right political environment. But the citizenry were the ones who come up with the ideas to make those ideas become reality. So as the citizens, as members of the office of the citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we have a role to play. And that role requires patience, requires that we work hard and focused in a focused manner, but that we surround ourselves with the right people. And this is also what the Unveiling and Running Nigeria initiative seeks to achieve, to have the right network of people, because once you have the right people in the room, great things happen. I think it's really that we need to realize the impact of the environment. We talked about ideas becoming things. We've talked about the fact that the gestation of ideas. It's so important that we create the enabling environment so that somebody born in the thickest communities in Yoruba can have the same amount of opportunities as somebody born in Lekki Island in Lagos, or somebody born in Abuja, in the Amak local government area. And that's what we need to do more of, so that people don't feel that by virtue of where they're from or what they believe, they're already ostracized from the environment. That's one of the key things. Education, investing in education heavily, the social nets. It's important that we also have an environment where people can have access to quality education, young people. The third is we need to realize, and this is already all the data indicate here and show this, Nigeria has a young population. Just looking at what happens if we do nothing. As far back as in around 2011, the British Council published a paper talking about the population, youthful population, if nothing is done, right? And they said Nigeria stands on the threshold of what could be the greatest transformation in history. Is either the youthful population becomes a time bomb or it becomes
becomes a rocket launch, right? And that's the way I see it. But what makes the difference is what we do about it. And if the youths do not have where to channel their energies into, then they will channel their energies into the wrong thing. So it's really creating the enabling environment should be the greatest task of the government. And that also requires creating the right social nets, allowing for people, young people, no matter where they are from, to find themselves, to find expression in the Nigerian nation. And so that they don't think their plan does not become, how do I jackpot? How do I leave the country? How do I go to a place that gives me a better opportunity? In Nigeria, Nigerians are Nigeria's greatest potential. If we give Nigerians the opportunity to excel, to find expression of their talents, Nigeria will be great. And there's no other way to do it. And the government has a role to play, and we as citizens also have a role to play. I'd like to invite all patriots across Nigeria, across the diaspora, no matter where you are, to join us in the unveiling and rebranding Nigeria Initiative launch, at the unveiling and rebranding Nigeria Initiative launch, and the event at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center on the 26th of October. And let's chart a new course for the country. You may have given up, and it's okay to have lost hope or to have lost encouragement, but you cannot kill that passion you have in the inside of you. You know wherever you are across the world or within Nigeria that you think about Nigeria. You know, whether it goes bad or goes good, your heart beats after Nigeria. Why? Because you are fundamentally Nigerian. And the way to actually ensure that that palpitation you have in your heart is translated to growth in the country is to find the right platform. And this is different from what you've seen in other initiatives, because the founders of this initiative have surrounded the initiative with people that are selflessly looking for the benefit and the growth of the country. And these are people that are professionals in their right. They have excelled in their careers, but coming together to say, let us move from individual excellence now to collective progress. How can we translate those individual successes to create opportunities for more people in the country? This is why it is different. It's not how can we come together and then for ourselves. No, it's really about how can we create a change, how can we allow for the kind of individual successes that we experience by members of the board, members and patrons that are part of the Urni Nigeria Initiative. How can we democratize this so that people, no matter where you are, can also have access to such opportunities? That's why we are doing this. That's why we're here all together. We invite you to join us in Abuja on the 26th of October at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center, and let's rebrand Nigeria together. In November, on the 30th of November, we'll be having the Nigerians in Diaspora Awards. It's a platform where we celebrate high-flying Nigerians in the diaspora. And why are we doing this? This is important so that we can encourage patriotic Nigerians, because that's part of the criteria for actually awarding the Nigerians in diaspora. One of the core elements is them showing an act of patriotism towards the country. Aside from succeeding or excelling in their career or business, whatever they do, they should also show some patriotism towards Nigeria. And this is the platform where we celebrate high-flying Nigeria. And the goal is so that we can also make those in those countries, in Europe, across the world, realize that there are good sides, a lot of good sides in Nigeria they may not know. And we invite embassies, we invite foreign nations, we invite different people from different walks of life that are even non-Nigerians. So come and learn about the great things Nigerians are doing. And that's the way we can also improve the image of Nigeria outside the country, so that Nigerians are more and more treated better, respected, and so that we can also celebrate a positive narrative to the country. So you're all invited as well to join us in Paris on the 30th of November for the Nigerians in Diaspora Awards. And it will be great to have the unveiling and rebranding Nigeria initiative in Paris, where we'll be launching it there in the diaspora and also talking about a lot of exciting projects that the diaspora will also be supporting from the diaspora and working in collaboration with Nigerians back in Nigeria via the Urban and Branding Nigeria initiative so that we can transform the country one community at a time. Nigeria has a lot of potential and a lot of people that may have lost hope need to just also realize that it's a journey. And I've been around the world in more than 40 countries. There's no country without challenges. There's no country without corruption. There's no country that is Eldorado. What is important is having people that take the initiative to transform their countries. And that's what makes the difference when you look at countries around the world that we consider to be successful is they are patriots, even those in business, they love their countries. They want to see their countries progress, they want to see their communities transformed, etc. So we need to, Nigeria depends on us. And if Nigeria is going to progress, we have a role to play in whichever facets of life or wherever we find ourselves, we have a role to play. But we need platforms, and that's why it's important to have a platform like the Unveiling and Branding Nigeria initiative that creates the platform for Nigerians to allow their talents and skills to find expression and also create access to opportunities for Nigerians. Nigeria depends on all of us, and I always tell people that there's nothing wrong with Nigeria that cannot be corrected by what is right with Nigeria. One of the things that is right with Nigeria is Nigerians.